Hi, welcome to the Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 5, video blog review.
Yes.
I'm Scott from PixelWankers.
I'm Sam, the wife.
Yeah.
Alright, let's start. Let's start with Theon and his sister.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, so...
I really shouldn't be surprised, but I was really rooting that these people would really embrace her, but it's Game of Thrones.
Well, the funny thing is, like, I guess I wasn't really thinking about the, brother or uncle still being around, and, like, I was like, oh yeah, well, then she just worried about Theon, and, that he's going to want to take over the throne, and that might be a little thing, but not a big deal.
What he said in the last episode, I want you to be ruler, were you worried that he was going to change his mind?
Well, a little bit. I mean... We know he's, like, a little bit of an opportunist. You know what I mean?
But I think that opportunist has been beaten out.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Well, if he had done that, I don't know if I would have been like, can't forgive him. But he didn't. And the brother shows up and says...
the uncle.
Uncle, brother of the guy who killed. And he basically comes in and says... Yeah, I killed the guy. I tossed him off a rope bridge.
And these people just embrace him, and they start chanting his name, and I'm like...
It's like, make the Iron Islands great again!
It's like Trump all over again, you know? Good grief almighty.
I'm gonna build the biggest ships. I'm gonna sail across the sea. I'm gonna use my big dick.
I know!
Daenerys. It's like, okay, well, some things that are wrong with your plan. I don't think Daenerys is gonna be, like, cool with this whole thing. She's not the kind of person that's going to, like, take up that offer necessarily.
I don't know. She's become kind of a badass. She may... I don't know.
I don't think she's going to take up an offer like that. But even so, basically, he goes through his trials and becomes the new king. And then Theon and Yaris go steal the ships, which was awesome. I was like, yes.
Hell yeah.
Something. Little bit.
It may come back to bite him in the ass later, but in the meantime, it was good.
Yeah, so that was cool. I wonder if they have, like, a cruise of people, because there was, like, a whole armada of ships sailing off.
Well, they're sea people, so yeah, they don't have people on land. All of it is on sea.
So I guess those people are defective, then. Like, they've defected from the rest of the kingdom there. So that's kind of interesting. I mean... We'll have to see what happens there, if they have sort of like their own little army or whatnot. But yeah, it's going to be interesting how that plays out. I hope that they kind of can come around and maybe help out the Starks. We talked about that in the last episode. That would be kind of nice. Going into the Starks.
That little finger...
that little finger.
That little finger. He needs to have his ass... kicked from here to yonder. So, and poor Sansa, she just is so influenced by him. Why? I don't know why he has such an influence on her.
I think that, yeah, it's true, because, like, I was sitting there, that was a really intense moment, like, right at the beginning of the episode. I think that might have been the first scene. That it was just like, do you know what you did to me? You know what I mean?
It's like, even though Ramsay did it, you did this to me. You brought me to him. Do you know what happened to me?
Well, the thing is that, like, she put all her trust in Littlefinger to rescue her from the Lannisters and get her out of that mess, and then he uses her as a pawn for his plan to give them the Boltons, and she's, like, kind of questioning him, like, did you know that Ramsay was going to be that way? Was that the plan?
And I loved it, because she was like, if you didn't know... you're a fool, and if you did know, you're just an asshole.
Yeah, which is true. Like, no one's gonna doubt her for that. But then she lets him live, and I'm like, and like, it's really tense at the moment. I'm still like, kill him, just kill him. Like, I feel like I've become so bloodthirsty in this show. Like, just off him. You know what I mean? Just murder him. But it's kind of like, I don't know. I think that it would be better if. I think it's better that she let him live. Because he can now go and help.
But she lied to Jon about where she got that information from, about it was her great uncle. Yeah,
but that wasn't his fault. I think I'm saying I think it's good for her to let him live, and the reason why I think that that's a good thing is because ultimately he can help her out with some things. I don't trust him. I don't think he's a trustworthy person. I think he'll ultimately lead them down a bad path. But as goings on right now, he has the ability to help them gain some armies to get rid of Ramsay.
And I guess at this point, what can you do except maybe just use him in return? But she has to be able to distinguish when is it okay to follow his advice and follow his whatever, and when can you say, no, I think you're full of shit, I'm not going to listen to you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think she's having trouble finding that line by lying to John about where that information
Well, yeah, that scene was really intense, too, because, yeah, it came up, where did you get this information about more of the, clans around the north?
Raven come.
Yeah, and it was just like, really? Why didn't you tell him? And like, even, Brienne kind of brings that out of her, like, if you trust him, then why didn't you tell him? You know what I mean? And it's true. It's like, there's no reason for her not to trust him. Like, he has her back, and ultimately, she needs his back to get,
no one else
Winterfell.
will.
There's no other way. So, I think that was really just a dumb move of her not to tell him that, yes, Littlefinger came by. And whether that would have led to an argument or what, I guess that may have been the reason why we're trying to save her skin in that sense. I don't know. Maybe it's the kind of sensibility. They brought it up at the end of the show. The sensibility that she's hung out with Littlefinger for so long. That's how he does business. That's how he moves around and gets things.
And so he's influenced her just one too many times.
Yeah. Who knows? It's really kind of a, I don't know.
Double-edged sword.
It's worrisome because I want the Starks to live. I want them to get back Winterfell. I want everything to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I want it all to end up happy.
Yeah. But let's talk about Daenerys.
Daenerys, I mean, she ended off last time badass. It was like, this is coming back. We're gonna see something cool here. And she's kind of getting her eggs in a row or whatever to start marching back to Marine. But
Joran,
yeah.
I'm really glad that they finally made up, and that she realizes that he's not going anywhere, that he really does care for her, even though he screwed up, and we all know he screwed up.
Yeah.
But he's made up for it in spades.
Well,
so I'm glad they.
And that was really sad, and kind of. I guess she's leaving him. Not leaving him. She's
she commanded him to
sending
go
him
find
off
a cure.
to go find a cure for his little
But she's like, I need you to come back and be by my side. So no worries.
Yeah.
No worries there. He's coming back. I know he is.
So yeah, I think that's a good thing. I think overall, hopefully that ends up well, and yeah.
Yeah. So woohoo.
On to the meat and potatoes of the story, really.
I screamed bloody murder. You can ask Scott. I was freaking out during this last part with Hodor and Bran.
And the wolf.
Ah!
Okay, the levels are off the chart. It
was intense. All because Bran got a little too curious. The whole curiosity got the cat kind of thing.
Killed the cat.
Yeah.
He killed it.
You know what I meant. Killed the freaking cat. This is it in a nutshell. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm too angry to talk.
Pretty much.
Well, so how it starts out is that Bran and the Three-Eyed Raven are having a vision of what was the vision? Oh, the vision was them in the
we find out
area
the
with the
origin of the Night's King, that the children of the forest are the ones that actually created the freaking thing.
I know, it's like, Bran wakes up, he's like, are you fucking kidding me? You did this? This is your fault? The world's going to pot out there because of you?
And it's ironic because they said they created it to save them or protect them from men, but really they're the ones that are doing the killing. So it's like you screwed yourselves over.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you feel bad, and basically they're like, yeah, we created them because man was invading our world. We had to basically clean up our world and save ourselves from you guys, so we created the White Walkers. And it's like, damn.
Damn.
But I mean, ultimately, then you get back into the visions, and basically Bran sneaks in.
Yeah, so while the Three-Eyed Raven is doing his thing, whatever, Bran takes it upon himself to just slip right into a vision.
Yeah.
And, of course, and we all knew this was coming, it was totally inevitable, the Night's King sees him in this vision.
Was walking through a field of White Walkers, like, nonchalantly, because he feels really, like, safe in this dream, knowing that he's not in any danger. He walks right up to the Night's King, and then he turns back around, and the guy grabs him. And he pulls out of the dream, and the Three-Eyed Raven's like, you've done it. Like, they can get in now.
It's like, he's left his mark on you, we can't stop them,
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, this is the one place you were safe, come on!
And then it starts going crazy after that, because, the Three-Eyed Raven is basically trying to give Bran some more information, as they know that the White Walkers are going to be storming the area pretty soon.
Yeah, the Three-Eyed Raven knew he was going to be dying, so he's like, you have to turn into me even though you are not ready. But you have to take this on now, dude.
Yeah.
And that poor chick, the gal that's with him, she was trying so hard to save him, but then we find out how Hodor came about, which I was really excited to find out about.
Yeah, well, so that's a little bit, I think, like, that was like one of the saddest things. That was like one of the saddest things in this show. But real quick, back to what's happening still. The White Walkers storm the place. They start tearing apart the trees. They're jumping through in there, and Bran basically is pulled inside the dream. He said, you need to come with us. You need to get Hodor to pull you away, because we can't get it. And Three-Eyed Raven says, go, follow your friends. Listen to your friends. And basically, he jumps into Hodor, and this is important because I'm gonna mention what my thoughts are. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's really what they showed us, but he jumps into Hodor inside of the Three-Eyed Raven's vision, through young Hodor.
Yeah, young Hodor.
And so then they're running through the cave, and the last child of the forest, runs back in and kills herself to destroy some of the White Walkers. And they just get out of the door, and as they're getting out of the door, Hodor stops, and the girl says, "Hold the door, hold the door."
Yeah, she keeps chanting that over and over and over, and finally, we realize that in that vision, because
after saying it a couple times, I knew it was like after the first two times, I was like, "Oh my gosh, no!"
The fact that he warred with him in the vision, it's now affecting young Hodor, and he falls on the ground convulsing and having...
Well, no, it's okay. So here, I'll explain what my thoughts are on it, because I don't think so. Pretty much what happens is that because Bran is connecting through Hodor as young Hodor, and actually he's being carried on the sleigh, right, through the thing. When she told Hodor to hold the door, and then they pulled Bran away from Hodor, I think it broke the connection as he was connected to him in the young version. So he broke the young version's vision.
You think so?
And so he was stuck in that sensibility of, I've got to hold the door, because that's the last thing Bran was telling him to do. Hold the door, hold the door, hold the door. And he couldn't do anything else. That's what made it so sad, because it was like, oh my god, not only is this guy just trying to literally saving them, it's like Sloth at the end of Goonies, come on Sloth, we're going out, crushing out on him. It's like, they're stabbing him and stuff, and all he wants to do is hold the door for his friends to get away, and that in itself is the torturous life that he lives now for the rest of his life. So that little bit of information to know that it's kind of Bran's fault. It's kind of their fault.
Yeah.
That Hodor lived the life that he did. That he was disrespected and seen as
stupid and just brute strength. Nothing more than that.
It kind of made me think. I almost felt like. Do you think Hodor, in his mind, would, and this is getting, metaphysical or whatever, but, do you think inside of his mind he knows that, like he sees his life playing out and he can't say anything but Hodor. Like,
yeah,
I almost feel like
so.
it might be something like that way, where it's like he is just an average guy. He's still, in his mind, he's not lost, but he can't do anything outside his mind. And so he just kind of fits that role. And it's really, that's kind of like the saddest story, honestly. Like, to see that death was like...
Because Bran did what he did, we all think, oh crap, why did you do that? But really, this was destined to happen.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
the fact that
from the very beginning, yeah, because he...
From the very beginning. So even though it may appear as a mistake, this was predetermined that this was going to happen to Hodor, obviously. So even though it's sad, it was going to have to happen, even though it's sad.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most torturous, like, tales of the show, because, you know, things we've seen so far is, like, we've seen torturous things, we've seen things happen, and characters do things to other characters that are just, like, despicable and god-awful, but this character has been tortured for his, like, throughout his life. Longer than the show, well, not longer than the books, because the books kind of go back on stories and things, but, like, longer than these stories have unfolded, he's been tortured with that, like, living that
and yes, because of him, Bran was able to get away, and so I'm hoping that Bran will not let him have died in vain like that.
Mm-hmm.
If Bran does anything else stupid, I will literally, like, hate him. I'm sorry. How dare he do that to Hodor? And so now, because Hodor is now dead, presumed dead, obviously, but he needs to go out and do what he needs to avenge Hodor.
Well, and see, this is, I guess, real quick, speculation on the thing. Do you think that the Three-Eyed Raven had given him enough information at that point to go out and become...
No.
The next thing? I mean...
Oh, no.
It's hard to say. I think it's a tough journey they have ahead of themselves. You mentioned, you're like, Bran really screwed the pooch, and it's like, yeah, he kind of did. He really kind of...
For everyone involved, he screwed the pooch.
Well, not even everyone just in that general area, but, like, the rest of the characters in the book, because the White Walkers are coming. If no one can kill them, you know, they'll just destroy all the land.
Pretty much.
So.
Good job, Bran.
Mm-hmm. Look what you've done, Bran. Alright, thanks for watching. If you want to see more, you can see our weekly podcast with all the rest of the PixelWankers on the page. Like us if you like it. We really appreciate that. Or subscribe to the video. Leave us a comment if you like any of our stuff, and we'll try and get back to it.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.